I just wanted to wrap this up with the Chicago Bulls. Hey, we got our hopes up for a second there. Chicago Bulls walked in with a 1.8 chance to possibly get the number one pick in the draft. Lo and behold, the Dallas Mavericks, the 1.7% chance, got the number one pick in the draft. And here's what's so funny about it is that they actually had a coin toss to decide who was going to get which spot and maybe a couple extra lottery balls because they had the same record. Coin toss goes the way of the Dallas Mavericks. If it had gone the other way, there was a possibility or probability that the Chicago Bulls would have the number one pick. And a lot of people are railing on Josh Giddey for hitting that half-court shot with about a month to go in the season, that if he hadn't hit that shot, the Chicago Bulls would have the number one pick. Trust me, there were a ton of games that the Chicago Bulls should not have been winning last year. And they did. And now they have to decide what to do with the pieces that put them in the position that they're in, which is the 12th pick in the draft. It is going to be sad over the next month, though, Bulls fans, that Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee has already borderline low-level asked for a trade. Will officially probably ask for a trade once the season is over, once we hit July. Probably will be on the move. And the way that it should have lined up is that this guy should have been a Chicago Bulls slam dunk, no problem, rock and roll. And Giannis has even said so much in previous interviews that he would love to play in Chicago just one time. A match made in heaven. I don't care if he's 30 years old. He's still one of the great players in the game. He's still a top 8 player. We can litigate whether he's 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is. He's still right there. And if you have one of those guys in the NBA, that means you got a chance. But unfortunately, the Chicago Bulls probably do not have the assets that the Milwaukee Bucks would be interested in. We're unable to get a high lottery pick, which the Milwaukee Bucks would be interested in. And we're going to be sitting there reading articles about dream scenario landing spots for Giannis, where to go, and the Chicago Bulls won't be on any of them because the roster that AK, Arturas Karnisovas, has put together isn't even attractive enough for other teams, and it isn't even bad enough to get you that lottery pick that you need to entice and juice up a deal to land a guy like Giannis. It's a literal rock and a hard place. And if you want to buy into the concept, since we just got off of talking about Pete Rose, a lot of people think that the NBA rigged the NBA draft so that the Dallas Mavericks would get the number one pick. If that's the case, what does it say about what the NBA thinks about the Chicago Bulls giving them the number 12 pick right now? It's a number 3 market. We are the house of Michael Jordan. The NBA owes the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan a lot of credit for the state of where the NBA has and is right now. You would think it would behoove the NBA and be in their best interest from a business aspect to have the Chicago Bulls be good. But because of the way that the front office is running this team right now, constructing its roster with no direction of whether to really push up where the ceiling is incredibly low or move it down to the floor because they don't want to go all the way down and tank it, NBA isn't interested. Nobody is interested. Nobody thinks we're cool. Nobody's into it. And if you're a Chicago Bulls fan, that's what makes it even more depressing is how do you get out of this? You get out of this by either hitting the lottery, getting to the top, which we can't do, swinging away to get a new superstar player of some kind, like Giannis. Milwaukee Bucks aren't going to be interested. And now we're going to sit around for the next month talking about how much money we should give Josh Giddey in restricted free agency. It's worse than the middle. It's worse than mediocrity. It's the Chicago Bulls.